You're not losing your mind. They're erasing it. Here's what's happening. Every time they gaslight you, they're not just lying. They're rewiring your hippocampus. The memory center of your brain physically shrinks under chronic manipulation. You forget conversations, doubt what you saw, question your own timeline. And here's the disturbing part. They use 3 weapons simultaneously. First, contradiction. They say one thing Monday, deny it Wednesday, then accuse you of making it up Friday. Your brain can't file contradictory data. It defaults to self-doubt. Second weapon, emotional flooding. Mid-argument, they escalate so fast your amygdala hijacks your prefrontal cortex. You literally can't form coherent memories when your nervous system is in fight or flight. That's why you can't remember what you said. Your brain was too busy trying to survive. But the third weapon is the most insidious. They rewrite history with surgical precision. I never said that. You're remembering wrong. That's not how it happened. They don't just deny. They insert a false narrative with such confidence that your brain thinks, maybe I am wrong. This is called source confusion. And it's destroying more than your memory. Your sense of self is built on memory. Who you are equals what you remember about yourself. When they destabilize your memory, they destabilize your identity. You stop trusting your perceptions. You second-guess your decisions. You become dependent on their version of reality. This is the goal. And here's how they lock it in. Intermittent validation. Just when you're about to leave, they validate one memory. You're right, I did say that. I'm sorry. Your brain gets a dopamine hit. Finally, confirmation. But it's a trap. Now you think, maybe the other 47 times I'm actually wrong. This keeps you hooked. And the physical damage is measurable. MRI studies show victims of prolonged gaslighting have reduced gray matter in their hippocampus, same as PTSD survivors. Your memory center is literally shrinking. But here's what the research doesn't tell you. Your brain has neuroplasticity. The damage isn't permanent. If you act within the recovery window, cut off contact, and within 6 to 12 months, your hippocampus starts rebuilding. But most people don't know the specific steps. Here's what you do immediately. Step 1. Create external memory anchors. Screenshot texts. Record conversations where legal. Journal daily with timestamps. Your brain needs external proof because internal trust is broken. This isn't paranoia, it's tactical documentation. Step 2. Train your brain to spot patterns, not isolated events. Narcissists rely on you forgetting the pattern. Keep a list. Times they denied saying X. Times they blamed me for their behavior. When you see it written 23 times, your brain can't rationalize it away. And this unlocks something powerful. Suddenly, you remember everything. The fog lifts. You realize it wasn't miscommunication. It was systematic manipulation. This is the moment they fear most. Because once you see the pattern, their power evaporates. But they'll try one last tactic, the Hoover. They'll reach out claiming you remember things wrong about the breakup. I wasn't that bad. You're exaggerating. They're trying to re-gaslight you into doubting your decision to leave. Here's the psychological countermove. Gray rock your responses, but also gray rock your emotional memory retrieval. Don't rehearse the arguments in your head. That reinforces trauma pathways. Instead, label it, that was manipulation, moving on. Your brain needs new data to overwrite old patterns. And here's how you feed it. 3 neuroplasticity accelerators. Sleep, 8 hours minimum. REM sleep consolidates true memories. Omega-3s, they rebuild hippocampal neurons. New experiences, novel activities create new neural pathways that aren't contaminated by trauma. But the most powerful tool is social recalibration. Talk to people who weren't under their influence. When you say, "Did I overreact when they..." and 5 people say, "No, that's abuse," your brain gets external validation. This is how you rebuild your reality testing mechanism. And it triggers something they can't stop. Around month 3 to 4 of no contact, you'll experience a memory flood. Suddenly, You remember 50 incidents you forgot. Your brain was protecting you by suppressing them. Now it feels safe enough to process. This will be overwhelming. Here's how to handle it. Don't binge process. Set a timer. 15 minutes to write about the memory, then 45 minutes doing something that requires focus. This prevents your brain from getting stuck in rumination loops. And here's the metric that tells you you're healing. You'll notice you stop saying, "I think," and start saying, "I know." "I think they manipulated me" becomes, "I know exactly what they did." That shift from uncertainty to clarity, that's your hippocampus rebuilding. Your memory is no longer their weapon. And here's where it gets tactical. Now you build defenses. Red flag checklist. If someone contradicts themselves twice, you document. If they deny a conversation, you verify with a third party. If they accuse you of remembering wrong, you disengage. You're not paranoid, you're inoculated. And this creates an unbreakable shield, memory sovereignty. Your memories are yours. No one gets to tell you what you experienced. The second someone tries, you recognize the tactic. They're attempting source confusion. You calmly say, "That's not my experience," and walk away. No debate, no justification. You've mastered the psychology. And here's what happens to them. When you reclaim your memory, they lose their narrative control. They can't rewrite history because you have the receipts. They can't gaslight you because your reality is documented. They can't Hoover you because you remember exactly why you left. They become powerless, and you become someone who trusts their own mind again, who doesn't need external validation to know what's real, who can spot manipulation in real time because the pattern is burned into your brain, not as trauma, but as tactical intelligence. You didn't just rebuild your memory, you weaponized it. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you becoming cognitively untouchable. Subscribe for psychological strategies that actually rebuild your mind.